Inform TV, I'm Alan Repke. This second day of June 2014, we're going to give you a little thought-provoking process here, and we're going to show you a very interesting building that most of you have driven by for years, yet I doubt if you've been inside it, and you probably wondered what's really in there. And I've been coming up here since the 60s, early 60s, I suppose, fishing in Miltona and that type of thing. And as far as I can remember, the building we're going to look at was always there, but I guess it wasn't in the years that I've been coming up here, but most of it. And it's kind of a fixture for the city of Alexandria. The only high-rise building in the area that I'm aware of anyway, and I don't know how far out, if you made a circle around Alexandria, how far you'd have to go to get a high-rise that's 13 stories tall. And we're going to take you a little tour of that building today, and we're going to do it from a number of ways. You know, I've pushed here as a TV station that is really doing a lot of active investigations as well as insight and looking at things in the backyard here of Alexandria. We get people from all over the country, all over the world into this area, on the beautiful lakes and golf courses and businesses and so on and so forth. But we always want to kind of challenge the system to do better as this community will continue to grow, and I think it'll grow faster than a lot of people think, with all the old baby boomers like myself getting to retirement age and that type of thing. But I'm a firm believer, if the downtown area, old Broadway people want to have a viable, strong downtown as well as the activity out by the freeway, they need a hotel downtown, and they need it bad. And I dropped this morning a little thought process into Sarah over there at Alexandria, the promotion group, and you can talk to some of the downtown business people as well as the chamber people to be thinking about this process as well, and challenge some of you that work for whether it's Arrowwood, the Hampton Inn, Holiday Inn, or some of the other facilities, resorts we have in the area, if they would be interested in building a new hotel in downtown. But part of the reason also on this process, we're not trying to take any jobs away from the fine people, and I apologize to Kelly. I blanked out on her name. Both Kelly and Dave and Kathy were very kind on the tour today that you're about to see, and I apologize for Kelly for whatever reason that name not catching in my head. But I think that building has potential to be renovated to be a very unique hotel as well. But so we'll kind of drop that in the thought processes for Orb Management and some of the other construction companies we have in the area, and give a little pressure to the mayor and city council, the Chamber of Commerce, the downtown business district of you know, if we can't build one, maybe we could use that. And for the residents there, obviously we'd have to build a new facility someplace or find another alternative for them, whether it's the old school building if they decide not to tear that down or whatever happens there. So there is always a lot of things to be thinking about, a lot of things to push the community and these so-called big shots that think they know everything, but in my view they overlook a lot of things. And unfortunately we're still not on cable, so we can't show all the people in the community, which, you know, the old power of censorship, it's the ultimate downfall of the common citizen whenever you let leaders censor the press. And going back to the beginning of time, as they say. But I think you're going to enjoy this opportunity, and just a thought process for any residents in there. I'm sure they got cable, so they're not going to be able to see that. But the fine tour we have, and Jeff, their supervisor, our executive director, he helped in getting this lined up, so we thank Jeff as well. But if we would get the government to build a new low-income housing, those people actually get a little bigger area. And from a room size, me being one of the community vagrants after taking on the world and losing, I found as long as you can get a facility, a place to live that's got 400 square feet or just slightly more, if you're a single person, you can get by fine, and you don't have a whole lot to clean up. But you need to be a little over 400 square feet. I always said the 20 by 20 or 20 by 21, you know, some of these facilities Amy Klobuchar built in the Twin Cities, I mean, that's luxury apartments. You know, they're building 800 to 1,000 square foot facilities for low-income people, and I want everybody to have a good meal, health care, a good roof over their head, and low-income people that have various challenges one way or another. We want to take care of them. This little tour you're going to see here in a few minutes, I think you're really going to enjoy. I really enjoyed the tour myself. But so there's things that we can do on that's a little bit bigger than the one size room we saw. The bigger rooms there are probably very adequate for individuals, but for a hotel and that three-legged or 3 points they have on there, you talk about a wild deck or an enlarged area if you'd run some a little bit different structure up there. And obviously I'm not an engineer, but I'm just dropping a thought process in. That's a wonderful building that with very little work would make an incredible downtown hotel. It'd be kind of like an embassy suite type arrangement in downtown. You know, we have a lot of the packaging industry and that type of thing that bring people in for a whole week or 2 weeks for training and that type of thing. They could be right downtown to shop and use the restaurants as well as to get out in the other facilities. So before we start this, we want to challenge you, the listeners of Informed TV. Once again, call City Hall. Why don't you have a real TV station, Informed TV, on the cable channels, as well as challenge. We had the lady from the winery out there. We had Jeff from Arrowwood. We've had Charlie, of course, on with some county commissioner meetings, and Holiday Inn people. You know them. See if they would be interested in either building a brand new hotel of 40 rooms or more, even the old Broadway site, or to see if their organization, the Holiday Inn, or this group in South Dakota that's got Arrowwood, if they would want to take a look at that building as a potential downtown hotel, if that could be utilized as a hotel, cheaper than building something new, yet at the same time finding or building something new for the 106 residents that are in there. We're not against them in any manner, shape, or form. We're trying to bring a reasonable piece of pie with a little ice cream on top for everybody. Enjoy this shoot of the unique building in downtown Alexandria. Alan Repke reporting. Informed TV, we're in downtown Alexandria, that the only high-rise building in probably quite a circumference around town here. As you can see, we got some of the staffers from the HRA building, the high-rise in downtown Alexandria. We're going to ask them a few questions. We're not going to put them on the spot or anything like that, but before we start, we're kind of in the dining area that residents of here can use. I think I was told about 20 people can get a lunch, that type of thing here daily, as well as we have a facility that provides for Meals on Wheels in some form or another, up to about 120 meals a day. And with that, what we're going to try to do for the Alexandria area people, give a little history on the building. And first of all, the three of you, just quickly introduce yourself and how many years you've worked here in this facility. Dave, let's start with you.
My name is Dave Weiner. I've been here for 22 years.
Okay.
I'm Kelly Garner. I'm a housing specialist at the HRA. I've been here for about 13 years.
I'm Kathy Glazeman. I'm the housing coordinator, and I've been here 23 years.
And to make it easy for you, Dave or Kathy, either one of them, you give us a little history of the building, why it was built, and it's been here 45 years, I understand, Dave.
Yes, it has. It started in '69. It was built for public housing, low-income people. We've had a lot of different clientele in the 22 years I've been here. But in 1992, we started a major renovation here, which included every room, which there's 106 apartments here, included every room for renovation. And that lasted until '95, when we came down to the first floor and renovated the first floor and added the solarium.
And we go through our tour here of the building. You've got 2 elevators. You've got, what, 2 stairways top to bottom then?
Yes,
as well. So we have a facility here in Alexandria, folks, that's totally up to code and modern standards. As when I pan the camera, you see they have a nice modern kitchen in the background. A very interesting facility, and part of the reason I'm doing this shoot today, with the fact that I doubt if many people have ever been in here. Have you guys had many open houses or anything like that, Dave, that you're aware of, or Kathy, or?
Just a couple.
Oh, okay.
I remember one when I first got here. But,
okay. And because like myself, I've come to the area, and in fact, I thought it was actually built before 1969. I can't remember Alexandria without this building, I guess, but like I said, I'm getting to be an old timer, so maybe I forget some of the things or watch the project. And from a standpoint, this would have been back in the day when Hubert Humphrey and Mondale and those guys probably were involved, and maybe they even brought some government funding in here. Was this building made with government funding, or did the city get involved? Do you have any thought that way?
This is a federally subsidized, funded facility. Although I'm not familiar with 1969, I was quite young and not living here then. I do believe that it was built with federal funds and not with city dollars.
It's my understanding, though, the building is actually owned by the city itself. That's kind of the records that I've seen.
Actually not.
You think it's owned by the federal government?
Actually, the city government has their own board of directors. The Alexandria Housing Authority has its own board of directors. So the property itself is not owned by the city.
Correct. I understand what you're saying there, but the reality, directly or indirectly, it's owned by the city. Uncle Sam doesn't own this footprint, is what I'm saying. It's a locally owned facility of a subdivision of our local government, right?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, that's fine. Just tell us a little bit about your building then. How much of a turnover of people, that type of thing, do you have with 106 residents? Do you specialize in most of your clientele older people, or do you have guests here or residents from 20 to 80? Give us a little thought that way.
Okay, as you said, we have 106 apartments. We house first to those who are elderly, or to those who are disabled.
Okay.
So those residents come first. If we are out of those on the waiting list, then we would go to what's called a non-preference, and then we could house someone that did not fit into those categories of elderly or disabled.
Because when I talked to you folks earlier on, it seemed like you had a waiting list of about 30 people on a list trying to get in here. Is that pretty typical then?
Yes, it is. In fact, right now the waiting list, I'd say there's about 65 on the waiting list.
Okay. And tell us about that. If there are residents here, are most of the residents then paying like a 30% of their income or something like that?
Yes. It is subsidized, so they do pay 30% of their income for their rent, and that does include their utilities except air conditioning.
Okay, and as we get up into the residents, they have their own cooking facilities and that type of thing, and all 106 residents. And Dave, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that. There's 2 sizes rooms in the facility here, square foot wide. Do you remember what it is? Somebody told me, I think in my pre here, that they're about 385 square foot to 420 or something like that. We'll get up there with the camera and that. I don't mean to put you guys on the spot, but like I said, I talked to so many people that kind of rough idea, but basically they're designed for either a couple or one individual.
That's correct.
Is most of the residents here in the facility then with one person in a room? Is that tend to be the norm more so than couples, or do you have quite a few couples as well?
I'd say most of the units have one person in them.
Okay, well that sounds fine. With that, I don't know, anything else that you want to tell the citizens of the Alexandria Lakes area about the facility that I probably forgot, or that you as workers that have been here a number of years are proud of, or are what you think you offer to the community? Anything particular?
Anybody here, there's a 24/7 emergency call service.
Okay.
If they can't get a hold of us during the day, we're on call all day long. So I'll come whenever they call.
Okay. Any thought your way?
We adhere to very stringent inspection and quality standards. The units are inspected no less than once a year. Actually, we do what we call preventive maintenance inspections, and we try to inspect them at least once every other month, getting on top of any problems that might become bigger problems.
Sure.
So we pride ourselves in keeping the building in very good condition.
Well, you can see that. And Kathy, any of your thoughts?
If a tenant has anything, whether it be an emergency or just my faucet isn't working correctly, we have maintenance that will go up and fix that the same day that they report it.
Is there any restrictions in this facility as far as our residents allowed to have alcohol, or obviously no smoking in the building, correct?
This is their home.
Okay.
Alcohol is certainly allowed as long as it doesn't become a problem, just like anything else in anybody else's life. Pets are allowed, a small pet with a pet deposit.
Okay.
As I said, this is their home, so
that's a good point. So there is a few cats and dogs in the building, as they
Yes.
say, that type of thing. When we look on the parking lot, you don't have a big parking area. What do you think? Maybe a third of the people have a vehicle, or is there more than that? Any thoughts that way at all?
we actually have two parking lots.
Okay. So.
Yeah, one on the main level and then one on the
Lower level.
And would you think most of the residents here work, or if you focus on the elderly, do on a daily basis, whether it's going to the night shift or the early morning shift, how many of the residents do you think have a job in the area, that type of thing? Any thoughts that way?
I'm going to say about 35 to 40%.
Okay, that's
do
fine.
some type of work.
Okay, that sounds good. And in the whole process, then we'll probably show people what we have for elevators, stairways. One of the things I guess I was looking at when I was in your office area, I see that you had a camera security system where you were looking with the camera into the stairway, into the elevators, into the lobby, and that type of thing for what Dave referenced, or you referenced as a secure building, safety for the residents first and foremost. Is the building sprinkled as well?
Yes, we installed sprinklers in the year 2000, I believe it was.
Okay.
And this building is really safe as far as that goes. The sprinklers will immediately sprinkle any fire. There's concrete ceilings, concrete floors. There's sheetrock between the apartments.
No, one of the things also with a high-rise building, we have a first-class fire service here in the Alexandria Lakes area, the city of Alexandria. We have an impressive hook and ladder system. Do you happen to know, when the local fire department does probably some drills here, do they have the hook and ladder truck? Does it go all the way to the top, or how many floors up that way? Do you happen to know, Dave?
They can go up to the 9th or 10th floors with their bucket truck.
Okay.
They have been here to practice doing their do you call it? Off the side of the building.
Repelling?
Repelling, thank you.
Okay.
Off the side of the building, and they've done that for, well, a couple times now. They come here and run stairways, fully equipped to make sure that they can do it.
And they understand the layout of the building if in case there would be a tragedy.
If there is, every so often, if there's a bunch of new people on the fire department, we run an exercise so that they know where everything is.
Okay.
And I give them a kind of a tour of where everything is.
Anything else you want to add, or I'll pop the camera out. We'll start walking down. We'll go to some facilities. And people, you need to understand here, I'm on the Monday morning early, the 2nd of June. There's kind of a transition going on, so we're not here to bother any residents. I think you have both a larger and a smaller room that we'll be able to look at to show people today, Dave. And we'll turn the camera on. We're in the elevator a little bit, the stairways, and just try to show people this facility that they have in their area. They drive by on Broadway and 29 on a daily basis, and I'm sure there's a lot of residents just like myself that are wondering what's really in that building. So thanks, folks. We're just going to pop the camera off and go to the next level. Just give you a little idea from the lobby area of the facility here, what people see when they come in. A nice table area here for the people to gather if they have some guests coming, that type of thing. I'm sure are just talk with their fellow residents. You can see they got mailboxes handy here. We've got 2 modern elevators side by side, as well as you can see there's a stairway here. Can you pull that door open for a second and just give people a little idea? I'll just step in there quick, Dave, and show people. Goes down below. Is we only one floor lower, or are there more than that, Dave? Okay, and you give it a little idea, and you have 2 stairways like this for residents?
Both sides of the building, they both come down.
Okay, that sounds great, and we'll just give people a little idea of what is here. We'll probably go up in an elevator. Is that we can do that? And I'll just grab my tripod, and so we get up in a room. I don't get my audience too. With my old shaky hand, that type of thing, and push the button, Dave, and we'll head up. And your capacity of your elevators, each one of them, Dave, how many people?
One is the smaller one, and one is the larger one. One has a capacity of 2,500 pounds.
Okay.
And the other one, I think it's 13.
Okay. You got
the big one.
Well, which is we'll let this gentleman come out. We'll protect your privacy, so we won't worry about that. And we'll let the staffers go in first, give you an idea. So we've got room for probably what, a dozen people in here?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that sounds good, and I'll just kind of turn, and I'll obviously do a little editing, but we'll get an idea of what it works like.
Who's open on 12.
You're watching Inform TV, Alexandria, Minnesota. We're going to go look at one of the smaller units now, folks, to give you a little idea of when a resident here would pop out of the elevator. We got a stairway to the side there, and Kathy, maybe you can tell us how many units do you tend to have on a floor?
There are eight units, nine
units on each floor.
9?
Except for the 13th floor, there's 7 because there's a laundry room up there, public bathroom, and an exercise room.
Okay, wonderful. We'll just kind of duck in then, if you don't mind. Oh yeah, we got some closet space just as we come through the door here. Nice windows here, carpeted area, nice little kitchen, stove, full-size refrigerator, so people have all the amenities of a private apartment, that type of thing. And then we have a separate bedroom. that also has a window out. In this particular unit, we're must be on about second floor here, and we're just across from the library. So you get a little idea that way. In the bathroom, or the bedroom area, Dave, you have a shower. Do all the units have shower and like this one, or do you have some tubs in some?
No,
or
there's no tubs.
Tubs, but they have a handicap assisted anyway, a shower facility and a vanity, and then they have a closet. You maybe can pop that open, Dave, so we can show people that way to hang your clothes, plus as we came in the entryway. What about it, Dave? Do they have any additional storage that you make available for residents?
There's available if we have lockers down in the basement level, and if there's any openings, they can apply for a locker.
Okay.
And that's up to Kathy to see if they have.
Sounds good. Let's go to one of the larger units then, and to give people a little comparison. But obviously, for an old timer like me, this would be all the room I could handle, as far as probably more room than I could handle to keep it clean, as they say. So, and then we'll just look at the storage space here for the resident as they come through. Great, Dave. Thank you. And once again, Dave, what people be thinking? How many units on a floor?
There's 9 units on a floor. There's 7. There's 1, 2, 3 larger units on each floor.
Okay.
And the rest are this size.
Okay, that's good to know. So then we'll go up. What floor are we going to now then?
The 10th floor.
Okay. To give you guys an idea once again, to see how it's very nice. It looks like any modern apartment building, hotel, whatever you want to call it, when you come into the elevator facility. We're going up to the next floor.
This particular large apartment is a handicapped unit.
Okay, okay, that sounds good. And we'll give our viewers an idea of what, from a standpoint of, this would be typical for the larger units. When you walk in, they have a closet. We got a little light issues with the bright sun this morning. We're on the east side, so we'll give you a little idea. And many people, I'm sure, curious like myself, in the kind of the V area of the building here. We're looking down at the Bremer Bank, as you can see. Many of you have seen the little nook windows here, often kind of wondering what they're all about. But as you can see, we're looking over at St. Mary's Church as well from here. So we do have quite a unique look at the area, folks. Here we're going to be going up on the roof as well. But the viewpoint of this building, the little windows, this is what a resident would be looking out of. And we step here for the larger units. They have their bathroom and shower area, not inside the bedroom area like the other.
This is a handicap.
This is the handicap.
Okay,
unit.
This unit would be a little different then than the rest of them?
Yes.
The other large units would have, Dave, they would have, I got sun issues here, excuse me. I'm going to walk in and looking, we can see out there, folks, so we're just a nice bird's eye view of the courthouse here, and we got Calvary Lutheran Church over there as well. We can look down at City Hall from here, so Lake Agnes, Lake Henry over there. It's quite of an impressive view from here, as you can see, and we're just going to pan the camera a little bit here and show the closet area. As far as square footage though, the footprint, guys, of this larger one would be the same footprint size, or is there a few more square foot?
No, this would be the same size as
As a standard large.
Standard large.
yeah.
Okay, and from, once again, when I'm running everything, I don't remember myself, but it's good to keep people on each floor. You have 9 units, and 3 are large and 6 are small.
Right.
Yes.
Except for the top floor.
Right.
So,
Yes.
okay, that sounds good. Very nice facility here, room for a nice queen size bed or whatever they need. So that sounds good. I'm just going to walk with my camera on, Kathy, right behind you. If you want to say anything or...
Well, the bathroom in here is a roll-in bathroom, so if they're in a wheelchair,
Okay.
they can use that just to roll into the shower. As
from
well as the table here.
Okay.
This would fit them so that their wheelchair, they'd be able
Certainly.
to wheel right up to it.
And as you can see, the entryway, obviously early morning, you always have some sun issues, folks, so keep that in mind as I get some different viewpoints here, show you what's here without too much sun giving you a challenge, but definitely a nice living area here as well. And the units all have their own air conditioning. There's no central air. There is central air down below. You can see looking to the east here, we have a Hubbard feed mill over there. We'll look down at the TV tower and the area where Inform TV is in the old KCCO building. So we just give you a little thought process of the only high-rise in the Alexandria Lakes area, and to show you what some of our area residents, how they live, and what they have available. Any other comments while we're in here?
Actually, they all have their own air conditioner sleeve,
Okay.
not their own air conditioner. The air conditioner itself is the responsibility of the tenant,
Okay.
and some choose to have one and some choose not to.
Okay, so there are some people that live in here, so when it's hot this summer, they'll rely on the window and that type of thing. So, okay, well, that's good to know as well. And at above your heads here, we can see there is the sprinkle system. So, obviously in a high-rise building or restaurants and many areas in town, that is a very needed area. Can you pop open that closet there just to give people a little idea what they have, some additional space there? Okay, that sounds good. Let's go to, we're going up in the roof then, or do you have another unit?
I think we should go to the 13th floor.
Okay.
Where you can see the exercise room, the laundry room, and then we'll go up to the roof after that.
Wonderful. Start again. We're up on the 13th floor now, and Dave is going to give us a little tour of the laundry facility they have up in the penthouse of all places. That you got an air conditioning unit in here, so they have. Tell us about this, Dave, 13th floor.
We have 5 washers, 4 dryers. The tenants have they can come up here and do their laundry whenever they want. Sit down and watch TV as they wish if they have nothing to do. We try to keep it nice and clean for them, keep it cool, because this is a place where you just sit.
So from a standpoint, what do most of the residents tend to use this, or?
Yes, a lot of them do.
Okay.
It's only $1 to wash your clothes and $1
Sure.
to dry.
Sure.
So they're pretty excited about it.
Sure. Let's go look. You said you have a little exercise area as well on this
Go
floor?
down the hallway.
Okay.
Yeah.
All looks good. We'll just pan here a little bit again to people to see what we have on the 13th floor, on a penthouse floor of the high-rise. What again is the correct term for this building? What do you guys refer to where you work? Kathy, maybe you can give that. It's considered
The Alexandria Housing and Redevelopment Authority, and we house to those who are low income or disabled.
Okay, that sounds good. And you can see, if I'll focus in a little bit, we're on the 13th floor here, and wow, this looks great. This looks like an old fat man like me needs to be at. You got an exercise bike, a couple of treadmills, and When you would exercise here, folks, in the morning, we'll give you a little idea of the view the residents would have. I'm just going to step on, and hopefully Dave or Kathy, one of them, don't throw on the power, but you can see they look out at over towards the Hubbard feed mill area, the water tower, and that type of thing. So, and obviously today for all of us to keep somewhat fit and trim is a great deal. So anything else you want to talk about on the 13th floor or the building before we go up on the roof?
That's about it for the 13th floor. We'll go up on the roof now.
Okay, that sounds good. Fine, we'll just give people a little, we're now on the 13th floor. The ladies said they do not want to go up on the roof. I don't know why you ladies scared of heights. That's unusual. But anyway, thanks ladies. And Dave's going to give us a little tour going up on the roof. I'll just duck through the camera. He said he's got a light bulb burned out. We'll give you a little idea of where the firefighters, and when they do their drill, give you a little idea of the nice stairway and that type of thing. If somebody either want to walk down and get a little exercise that way, or as we get ready to go up to the roof, I'll let Dave head up there and show you what we have here. And I'll follow up here, bring my tripod with to try to keep things steady for you guys best I can. He's got a case Batman needs to get in. Dave has got it kind of double locked here. Oh, wonderful. Give you folks a little idea. We got a nice rubber roof up here. We've got obviously some cell phone communications. It basically, from a standpoint, are these all cell phone things you have on the roof? How many cell phone providers are up here? Do you know? Happen to know, Dave?
Sprint, Verizon, and
AT&T probably?
yes. I think so.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Okay.
They're changing hands so often.
That sounds good. Let's just kind of make a slow walk around, and then maybe I'll set up my tripod a little bit. We'll step over some of the things here. As you can see, folks, as I rest the camera in my belly a little bit, we look down at the courthouse from here. We're a long ways down, as they say, and we'll kind of follow Dave around this whole process here this morning. And we've got an airplane coming in the distance over there. I think he ducked under the trees. Dave, I'm just going to set the camera right here. We'll kind of give people a view of what we have here, and I'll steady it up here for a second. You're watching Inform TV, Alexandria, Minnesota. We've got the camera in the tripod here, and we'll just give you a little slow pan around and show you some of the facilities that you can see here from the roof of the only high rise in the Alexandria Lakes area. We got a good view of the gap over there between Lake Agnes and Lake Henry, where I'd like to see that beautiful bridge that we get those guys out at Carlos to build for the community, so people could pull off the freeway and walk all the way around Lake Agnes. Be an incredible thing to bring a lot of people downtown, and hopefully at some point we can get a hotel facility downtown as well. But we'll just give you a little panorama of what we see here today from the roof of the HRA building here in Alexandria, with the trees and that type of thing. I guess maybe I was trying to focus a little bit We can look at the Y in the distance there. I think we can probably even focus in a little bit on the TV towers over there, the radio towers to the northwest here, over by the new Brophy Park. We got Tastefully Simple, their building there in the horizon. We have a fairly high hill in the distance here as well, and you can see the new power lines, the airport coming up here, that try to do in a way that you folks don't get dizzy as I turn the camera, but we can see the airport out there, Douglas Machine area, the industrial park out by the freeway, and then we'll try to turn here and look down Broadway a little bit from the top of the roof here in downtown Alexandria. So it definitely has quite a view from the roof of HRA. With the wind blowing here this morning, we probably got a muffled voice, but try to get a little footage, and I'm not quite sure what does the best job of showing you, whether I just do a wide panorama. We had a unit that just kicked out, so we are a little bit quieter here for the moment, and we'll just give you an idea from the roof of our only high-rise in the area what it looks like again, and not take too much of Dave's time when he's kind enough to show you this incredible facility here as we look north to Lake Agnes and Lake Henry from the roof. Now we'll walk around the building and take a look at the other side.
I like to come up here and watch the parade.
Oh, yes, I never.
The band festival.
Yeah, there you go.
Walk right down there.
That is would be incredible. All right. I think, where do I want to shoot from here? Any place? I'll steady up. I don't want to drop my camera over the edge and somebody say, who was that old fool that did that? We'll give you a little idea again of what can be seen from the roof of the only high-rise in the Alexandria Lakes area. A housing unit of 106 rooms, and you can see a close-up look of what you see some of the cell facilities that we have here as well. With all the greenery of trees this morning, we got the sun behind the clouds for at least a second here, and give you a little idea of the panorama of looking around the city here from the high-rise. And as you can see there, we'll move forward maybe a little bit with the camera and see the construction on Old Broadway, that putting a new modern sewer, water and storm sewer area as activities go on that way. After a weekend of a lot of rain, you can see the Maritime Museum, the Runestone Museum there right north of us, and just giving you folks a little look. And as you can see that nice little gap there, how that would really be cool if we had a nice bridge there for people to walk all the way around Lake Agnes and put some colored lights on it in the evening, that type of thing. Be quite a tourist attraction for downtown Alexandria. So Form TV, we've got a lot of things we'd like to see to continue to happen, and always trying to push our leaders a little bit to be creative in the process of making the Alexandria Lakes area even more attractive for people to retire at or work at and raise a family, attend the school system, Alexandria Technical College, utilize our many services available in the community as well. Alan Repke reporting from the roof of the HRA building in downtown Alexandria this second day of June 2014, early Monday morning. We've been on the roof now, and just to give you guys an idea a little bit about the stairway system here in the building. Thank you, Dave. And what it looks like at another angle here on the 13th floor. We'll take the smaller elevator down. Yeah, that'll be great. To give you guys an idea of what the smaller elevator is like. Any rough idea of number of people you could get in the two at once, Dave?
No, I don't. I'm sorry to say.
Probably around 15 at least, right?
Oh, at least.
At least.
If we have a dozen of them squashed in the first one,
yeah,
you can get at least 5.
6 in the other one. Yeah, that was kind of my guess. I thought probably 18 people could
I'll
be.
send this one away.
Okay, that's fine. Just give people an idea of the different size again of the two elevators in the building. And it's like we got an opening. Give you folks a little idea. We've got a little tighter facility, but definitely still enough room to easily, like you said, you could crowd 6 people in here quite easily. Folks, the elevators seem to operate at a quick basis. We're going down like any other modern building would be, and as Dave told us in the intro, they had updated things in the mechanical room on the top of the building there as well. So just got a little bump on the bottom. Give you a little idea of when you come out of the elevator what residents, guests see of this facility. We'll keep those folks' privacy to the side there, but we'll just give you a little idea of what it looks like when you come out of the elevator into the lobby here. As we come out of the HRA building here and looking at the Walgreens drugstore over there, you see the parking facility they have out, plus they have some parking down below there in the parking lot that used to have some flooding issues when they did the new storm sewer. Hopefully they've got that addressed. And just a little view of Alexandria on this Monday, the first Monday of June. Just give you guys a little idea when we talked about looking out that little window. As they say, if you would build another area, open that window up and just think of the incredible terrace or unique single room that could be in that 3 V's of this incredible high-rise building in downtown Alexandria. Just some thoughts this Monday, the 2nd of June. You're watching Inform TV, Alexandria, Minnesota.